Hello guys, I hope you all are well, safe and sound, and eager to listen to my next lecture as much as I am eager to give it to you. Okay, so the fourth lecture will be devoted to the word formation, one of the most exciting branches of lexicology. I love word formation, and if we were offline, I would make you now to make at least 10 or 15 new words using the patterns of word formation which we will discuss during the lecture. This was my normal interactive exercise with my students at the end of this lecture, but unfortunately you are far from me now. But we hope that next semester we will be together, and then we will have this exercise on word formation as well. Okay, so the topic of the lecture is word formation in modern English and its productive types. Okay, so slide 1, or page 1, here I did not enumerate the slides, that's why I will refer you to pages, not to numbers of the slides. Topics for discussion are as follows: word formation as a language subsystem, and general information about types and ways of creating English words. Affixation as the most productive type of word formation. Then very shortly about compounding in English, about conversion and shortening. We will talk very, very briefly about these types this time during this module, but we will have enough time the next semester at our lectures in semantics and word formation to specify each type of word formation and go deeper into the magic of creating words using this or that type of word formation. Okay, so as a process, word formation or word building, you can say, or word creation, you can say, are understood as processes of producing new words from the resources of the particular language. The four types which we discussed today, those are root words, derived words, compounds, and shortenings, represent the main structural types of modern English. In the previous lecture, we spoke about types of stem, and there are four types of stem: simple, derived, compound, and compound derived, and they all are represented throughout their word formation characteristics. So, how words have been made? This question, when you ask yourself this question, then how are the words being made? Then you go to the diachronic approach, that is history. But how we can make new words, this is a synchronic approach, and it is a very actual question at present time, and it is synchronic. Okay, so that is why when we look at the words with putting on diachronic glasses or synchronic glasses, you know, we have to classify the words into several types. So synchronically active types of word formation patterns are called productive. They are synchronically important. Those who are not so much important, or they are important in general for the vocabulary, but not so frequently used in producing neologisms, the non-productive, are called non-productive. Sometimes they are called minor types, not so minor, major, minor types, you know, more significant for modern vocabulary enrichment and not so significant, minor types. Okay, so to productive types, of course, like in many modern languages, we refer affixation, we refer compounding or composition, and we refer in English only conversion, because conversion doesn't exist in English, in Russian or Uzbek or many other languages. Maybe it does exist somewhere in Germanic languages, but this is not our matter of analysis today. And of course, shortening. Shortening became very important in Russian also, and in Uzbek lately, right? Modern Uzbek has lots of shortened words, but shortening, of course, started first of all in the English language, because some expressions, some phrases became too long for pronunciation, and shortening was used, and clipping was introduced into a word formation system by the English language. Well, when it comes to affixation, which is page 4 already of our presentation, affixation, as you well are aware of, I'm sure, is a process of forming words by adding affixes to root morphemes. Affixes can be classified into prefixes, which are put before the root, suffixes, which are after, but besides, there are also infixes in the English language. They are used not only for creating affixal words, but for creating compound words like Anglo-Saxon, you know, some words which unite, handicraft, you know, these elements which really are, their basic function is connecting roots. Okay. But there is a very interesting class of words in English which is called semi-affixes, words which are used both separately in their independent meanings and as prefixes or suffixes in derived words. For example, the word proof is adjective, it's normal adjective in the English language. Yes, proof, made from the verb, or it's a noun, proof, what? A proof, made from, by sound gradation from the verb to prove, a proof. But proof as a noun is becoming more and more a suffix. Whatever root you add proof to, the word becomes protecting, or protecting, guaranteeing, something like that, ensuring, securing. This is the meaning. For example, waterproof clocks are clocks which are not afraid of water, right? Shockproof glass or shockproof plate is a plate which does not break when you throw it on the floor. So this proof, you see, it proves, this suffix shows us that it proves that something which is expressed by the root morpheme will not happen. Okay, so or over, for example, or well armed, well educated. Well educated doesn't mean really very good educated, because everybody has his or her own standards of education, right? For me, a well-educated person is certainly Doctor of Sciences. Okay, but maybe for somebody else, educated means, well-educated means graduated from lyceum or from college. That is why well-educated means enough, highly educated, okay, not just educated. Okay, so well here becomes a prefix. Good. So when it comes to classification of affixes, again, by position, I have already said that by position they are classified, right? What was this? Yes. So by position, prefixes, suffixes, infixes, even circumfixes. There are such constructions, such a combination of affixes which are taken as a whole. For example, un, prefix un plus able. Un, something in the middle, and you add able. Unable is something like a circumfix, like it makes a circle around the root. For example, forget, unforgettable, break, unbreakable, love, unlovable, sleep, unsleepable, etc. Right? So if you want to make words with this structure, you take immediately both prefix un and suffix able. So, and this un plus able can be termed as circumfix. Okay, so by part of speech, affixes of course can make anything they want. They can make nouns, verbs, adverbs, numerals, you know, anything. Any part of speech can be made by affixes. There are special affixes for this. Then by origin, of course, affixes are divided into native and borrowed. Native are Anglo-Saxon affixes. Okay, as you know, the difference between Anglo-Saxon, right, and between, I mean, before Angles and Saxons came to the British Isles in the 5th century, Anno Domini, the Isles were inhabited by Brits, by Celtic tribes, and the English language started from the 5th century, actually, right? 5th century. Before this, who were there? Who ruled Britannia? Roman. legions, Roman troops, right? So, but still, you know, Anglo-Saxon tribe have won over all other tribes on the British Isles and became the foundation of modern English. Of course, we have some Celtic words, some Celtic expressions which have been preserved in the language, Scandinavian also, and many other nations contributed to the development and enrichment of the English language. But still, we have some native Anglo-Saxon affixes, which are er, noun making, player, which is ish, adjective making, bluish, greenish, okay, en, that is verb making, yes, whiten, blacken, verb making suffix. Then this li, you know, li is really, li in Old English meant body. When you say queenly, that is looking like or appropriate to a queen. You know, li is a very polysemantic suffix. Okay, you will find it out in your seminar exercises, etc., etc. Nis, yes, it's an Anglo-Saxon suffix which means state or condition, right? You can have blackness, darkness, pureness, forgetfulness, friendliness, etc., whatever, the state. Okay, we go next to the next classification, and here, as we have already mentioned, we have living. First of all, we divide affixes into living, that is, we see them, they exist before our eyes, and living affixes are divided into productive and non-productive. That is, they're distinguishable in the structure of the word, okay? But there are also dead affixes, and dead affixes for many of us, for language learners, maybe for native speakers, they are clearly seen in the structure. But for us, for language learners, I mean, we need special analysis, special, you know, tools of analysis in order to find out whether this or that word contains an affix. And here, the wedlock, you know, lock, you know what's lock, yeah? It's the lock with which you lock the door or something. But wedlock, now you have the Old English word is wedlock, but modern English word was borrowed from French, and it is marriage, and in French it is mariage, you know. So marriage is not an English word, it's French word, but the English word is wedlock. That is, you are locked in wedding, and the key is in the hands of Allah. Okay, all right. And of course, semantic classification of affixes we can make just many criteria. Some affixes can present negative meaning, some affixes positive meaning, some affixes produce the agent meaning, etc., etc. And here are some examples of them. You can see them in the presentation. Key plus board, you have keyboard. Oil plus rich, you have oil rich. Hand plus operate, and ed, the suffix ed is hand operated. Anything you operate with your hands, etc., etc. Even very long words can be compounds, like water spray fire control system. The thing is just system. It's here. We see it in our class. A small thing, metal thing, which is called in 5 words: water spray fire control system. As soon as we have fire here, this system will pour rain on us, on all of us here. Okay. All right, so different types of compounds. And of course, by part of speech, they can be very different. They can be nouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs, numerals, pronouns, even conjunctions and prepositions. And here are another approach to the classification of compounds, very theoretical. So compounds can be reduplicative, hush hush, bye bye. They can be ablaut combinations, sing song, chit chat. Can be rhyming combinations, hoity toity, willy nilly, you know, very beautiful words. And derivational, of course, teenager, old timer, newcomer, etc. And endocentric, that is ash straight, both for ash and for tray, you know. And exocentric or idiomatic, that is non-motivated. What is a killjoy? What is a killjoy? It's not a joy and has nothing to do with killing. A killjoy is a person who kills joy in the company. You know, this troublemaker in the company. But, oh, don't be a killjoy. Shut up, we can say to some friend who says, oh no, you are boring, you are not doing the right thing. Don't be a killjoy. Okay, it means don't spoil the company. Okay, etc., etc. So we will talk about, or we will discuss, you will apply this knowledge in your seminar assignments. Okay, compound derived stems. Again, these are longer words having two roots and some derivational affix. And here I give you some examples: absent-minded, mindedness, blue-eyed, broad-shouldered, field-goer, you know, and many, many more. Okay, so contracted compounds or mixed types of word formation. TV set, you know, here you have both shortening, you know, abbreviation, and you have a word. Or TV set program, TV set show, okay. I mean, many, many words. These are also compounds, but one of the component, one of the root or two roots are given in a contracted or abbreviated or clipped form. Okay. Conversion. I love conversion. It's a unique type of word formation in English. You can convert any word, almost any word you like. Some converted words will be accepted, of course, by native speakers. Others will not be accepted, but we can try. So, and what is conversion? This is a very convenient way of word formation when we just take the word, the root word, or not only root word, even affixes can be converted into words, and turn it into another part of speech without adding any morphemes, without even changing the stress. Okay, a play, a noun, can be turned into the verb to play, right? But what we change? We only change the grammatical forms of this word, right? As a verb, it will have the forms plays, played, playing, to play, 1, 2, 3, 4 forms, and all these 4 forms taken together are called the grammatical paradigm of the verb to play. But when we take play as a noun, we have plays possessive singular, we have plays possessive plural, and again we have 1, 2, 3, 4 forms. But these 4 forms are already the noun's grammatical paradigm, not verbs. Okay, so that's why some linguists give the term of conversion is just a change of paradigm. That is, we change the paradigms. We don't make new words. We don't create a new word. We take the same form. We only give this word a different function. We change it transfer it from one part of speech, from noun to verb, from verb to noun, from adjective to verb, etc., from adjective to noun, and vice versa. But we already use it with a different grammatical paradigm in our sentence. Now let's look at the definitions of conversion taken from different dictionaries, as I normally do. So there are several terms for conversion: zero derivation, because no morpheme is added; change of paradigm, which I explained to you; root formation, yes, sometimes roots are formed, new roots are formed; and of course functional change, because we change the function. Nouns become verbs, and etc. Conversion is often referred to as affixless way of word building, and you understand why. And yes, and with the help of conversion we can create new roots. That is really so. Okay, so functional changes in conversion. So we make a new word, more or less it's a new word, because we enrich the class of the part of speech, right? And it is really a word formation. That's why we study it here. But the new word very often has a new meaning. which differs from the original meaning, and it has a new paradigm. Okay, so here, one of the last slides is, I show you examples with the semantic shift in conversion. For example, to cut is an action of cutting, but a cut is already a result of this action. A hammer is an instrument, you know, but to hammer means to act with this instrument, okay? So to smoke is a process, but a smoke is one short moment of it. Yellow is an adjective, but the trees are yellowing early this year. We use yellow as a verb. Trees or leaves are yellowing. Okay. Even out, a preposition can be used as a verb. Can just out. Enough if I say this word to you, you know, especially with a loud voice. Out means go out of here, right? So we turned a preposition into a verb, into a command, etc., etc. So conversion, as I already mentioned, is popular with verbs and nouns. And last but not least, shortening as one of the most productive types of word formation. Shortening is divided into clipping, when we shorten the words. And here you have different types of shortening. Initial, which is apheresis, final, which is apocope, medial clipping, which is syncope. And of course, we have mixed types, and all examples are there. Another type of shortening is abbreviation, and abbreviated words are words which are formed from the initials, from the beginning letters of a group of words. And normally these words denote organizations or positions or technical device, equipment, etc. So CEDAW is United Nations Conventional Elimination of all forms of discrimination against women. But of course, it's much easier to abbreviate it and pronounce the word CEDAW as an acronym. Acronyms normally are abbreviations which are pronounced as normal English words, such words as radar, laser, SEO, AIDS, UNESCO. I'm not going to decipher these words to you now because you will do it as your seminar assignments. Okay. And next lesson we will talk about minor word formation types, which I'm not going to speak about now. Thank you for your attention. My lecture is finished. Bye, enjoy yourselves, and take care.